Okay, and so today our class is going to be including a lot of stretching, not yin type of stretching. Actually, I want to say it's kind of the opposite of yin stretching. And it was something I was trained in years ago and I always used, and I sort of incorporated a little bit into our classes sometimes. It's more of a rhythmic stretching. And so instead of holding a stretch like we do in yin for a long time, static stretch, in this situation, in this class today, we'll be using active isolated stretching, which is more of a rhythmic movement stretch. So you move into the stretch and then you move out of the stretch. And the key is when on every pose, that you're exhaling as you move into the stretch. So as you're stretching the muscle, you are exhaling. And then you get to you kind of finish the exhale and then hold it for 2 counts. And then inhale and you come back out of the stretch to a neutral pose. And then you move back into the stretch, exhaling and hold for 2, come out of it and inhale. And then you repeat that 6 to 10 times. So it doesn't take a lot of repetitions to make this an effective stretch. And the reason I like it, I think it's a safer stretch, is that if you don't hold a stretch for 5 seconds, now let me reword that. If you hold a stretch for less than 5 seconds, more safer, close to 2 to 3 seconds, you're not going to stimulate the stretch reflex that can happen automatically in our nervous system, where our nervous system goes, uh-oh, we're in this stretch, can we do this? And it might pull back. And so then there might be a tendency to pull a muscle in a longer stretch. Obviously, it doesn't always happen because we've been doing yin yoga. But for people new to stretching, I think this way is the better way to learn how to stretch and then incorporate the other stuff. Okay, so let's do our stomach circles. And breath is always important. So in this move, we inhale forward and exhale around the back. Counterclockwise is usually how we start. And think of yourself as sitting in a bowl, and you're supposed to clean the inside of the bowl with your belly. So you really try to move this portion as much as possible, but we're not like doing this huge thing yet. That's not a bad thing either. I'm just saying we're starting like this. And go the other direction. And so when I lift weights, which I'm trying to do frequently, if not every day, at least 5 days a week, I only do it for about 15 minutes, the weightlifting, 15 or 20 minutes. But I do the active isolated stretching beforehand. And that is actually recommended because doing the other kind of stretch before you exercise, like the long static stretch where you hold the stretch for a long time, you really do stretch the muscle, and then you want to go and make it lift heavy weight. They say that's not ideal. So when we do this more rhythmic stretch, which we haven't started yet, it's not as hard on the muscle. Okay, and now let's do our spinal flexors. So inhale forward with the chest, exhale around back. And this whole class can be a meditation. All of our classes can be a meditation because we're breathing. You can use the central channel breath, make it even more meditative. And our focus is on certain positions and movements with great care and intention. So that qualifies as a meditation. Doesn't mean it can't be challenging at times. And we need to do the weights because we need to strengthen. The yoga that I teach isn't terribly strengthening. It's really good for stretching and energy moving. So where do we get our strength training? Weights is the easiest thing. And you don't have to use heavy weights. I use like 8-pound weights for most things. But I'll be moving up again on my weights. And then you need your cardio. So are you walking? See, that can take up 2 hours a day, right? To do all those things. And we're shooting for 2.5 hours a day of some kind of meditative practice. So that works. And it may be that you only get 2 out of 3. You know, one day you do yoga and you walk, or one day you do walking and weights. Hey, that's better than it used to be, right? Wherever your back is tightest, focus the movement there on the exhale. If you hold on more firmly and straighten your arms, you can really stretch your upper back. If you don't have to hold on so firmly, you can really stretch your lower back. And let's do our twists. So we'll inhale left and exhale right. To center. And just take a moment here. You can straighten your legs, meditate and breathe. Okay, so here we'll begin to do the active isolated stretching. And you can keep your legs straight. So we'll do more of the caterpillar. So you exhale forward, maybe grab your ankles. Hold for 2. Inhale back up. You don't have to come all the way up. Exhale forward. Maybe you can grab even farther to your feet or toes. Hold out for 2. Inhale up. And repeat that about 4 more times. Okay, just sit back and relax. So it's a lot of breathing, isn't it? And that's good. It primes our pump when we can really focus on the breath. And on that exhale, you could be, on the inhale, you could be breathing in through the central channel to the belly. On the exhale, you could be breathing out both ends, actually, from the belly, out the head, out the feet. Just try to incorporate the central channel breathing. You can breathe out the arms, out the legs. You can kind of make it up as you go. Okay, and let's do our right heel into our inner groin. And we rotate toward that leg. And this one we usually do with breath of fire, but we're going to do the AIS stretching. So inhale, think of bringing in the breath. Exhale, move into the stretch, and then hold for 2. Slowly come up with the inhale, and repeat that about 5 times. And I think we're about ready to switch legs. I find that usually on every single exercise, not every movement, but every new exercise, there's some kind of yawn or release that I have with that exercise. So just notice if that happens for you too. It could be burping or yawning. Turning toward that right leg. Activate the foot toward you. Press your leg, press your knee down into the mat. Inhale, bring the breath in, exhale fully, and then hold out for 2. As you hold out for the 2, you can actually let your body suction in a little bit. Inhale and exhale. Do about 6 total. It's okay if you lose count. I'm losing count. I think there's one more. I think this also teaches us how to be more flowy. We like flowy, and so this kind of breathing reminds us that we don't have to ever stay still. When I'm doing my work on people and I have my hands on, or even just doing like the distance work, I'm usually moving just like I am right now. There's some kind of movement going on in my body, and that helps the energy to keep in the flow. Okay, so let's use a strap. We can do a lot of leg stretches with the strap. So I'm going to start with the hamstring stretch, and that is where your leg is straight. You're just doing we'll do one leg at a time. So you loop your belt or your strap around the sole of your foot. So there's actually a loop. So you can see it on the top of the foot, you can see it on the bottom of the foot. And you lay down and have both legs straight. So using the strap a little bit, help yourself bring your leg up straight, and you'll bring it up farther than you normally would without the strap. Exhaling on the way up, holding for 2, inhaling, let it back down. Exhale up, pull it past 90, hold for 2, inhale down. And keep going. We'll do about 6. Let the leg be strong and intentional on the way up and on the way down. It's not all about the strap. You know, you can lay around watching television doing this. When you're done with your 6, you can relax it down. We won't switch legs yet, so just give it a rest. Is there some other exercises we can do with this strap on the same leg? Okay, so now bring the leg up to 90. You can hold the strap or the belt with both hands. It's like just holding on with both hands. And now we can bring it either to the outside, to the right, and just let it down slowly with the exhale and hold for 2 and inhale back up. Now you'll feel that your left hip, so we're working with our right leg, your left hip will kind of want to come up off the mat when you go to the outside on the right. Just try to keep that left hip down. I can see people moving around a little. I want to give you a minute to get there because you may need more space for this one. So exhale down and let the rope help, let the strap help, but try to keep that left hip down. Inhale straight up to 90. Remember, you could be breathing in through your legs, through your feet, and exhaling out your head, or any which way you want to do it. You could actually look to the left with your head as your leg comes down to the right. And I'm using my left hand to hold my hip down. So my left hand is on top of my hip bone on the left. Let's do a couple more of those. Okay, and you can bend that knee and set that foot down. Keep the strap there. And And now we'll work to the other side. So lift that foot up again, same leg. Maybe hold higher up on the belt toward your foot with your left hand. This time we're going to come down to the left, so you may need to move around a little bit. Put your right hand out to the T. And on the exhale, pull that leg down to the left. Keep your head looking right. Hold for 2, and you can sort of help it back up with the rope if you need to. Got a little muscle cramp on that one. And repeat that about 6 times. You don't have to touch the floor with that foot. It's at about a 90-degree angle when it's upright. On the last one, bring it back up straight, and then bend the knee and set that sole of the foot down. Just give it a little rest. And we have at least one more to do on this side. I think just one more. This one will get more of that IT band along the outside of the right leg. So lift your right leg up again, 90 degrees. With your left hand, hold the strap closer to the foot. And this time, you're going to bring the leg down as though you're bringing it toward your left shoulder. So it's coming upward and over to the left. Maybe it doesn't go as far as before, that's fine. Again, inhale, and then exhale. Like pull it toward, with the hand, pull it toward your shoulder. So your left arm bends a little bit. The right leg stays straight. This might only be a movement of about a foot. Like from where I am right now, I may only move it about a foot. Toward the upper, toward the direction of the head and the left shoulder. Exhale each time, holding for 2. Inhale, coming back up. Okay, when you're done, bend that knee, let the heel float down, place the foot on the mat. You could bend both knees now. Resting. Okay, I'm thinking we can leave the strap still on the right leg, but work your way up, or we're going to turn to the other, lay on the other, what are we doing? We're going to lay on our left side. So maybe you're up like on your forearm. And so you've got this strap. And I don't know how flexible you are, but the idea here is to flex the quadricep. So that's the upper leg muscle. And so as you exhale, you pull the strap, pulling your heel toward your buttock on the exhale. And then you let it go. So you give it a total rest in between on the inhale. Hold for 2. Inhale. Do about 6. you're kind of pushing your knee away from you too. Like imagine you're trying to touch the wall down, you know, where your feet would be with your knees. So you kind of push it, and but then you also pull your foot with the strap. So you're really lengthening that quadricep. Let's do a couple more. Okay, and you can take that strap off of the right foot. And we're going to repeat all of those on the left. So we start out with the hamstring one. So remember, well, actually, I won't say that yet. So this one, you exhale and bring the leg up straight, hopefully past 90 degrees, but maybe it doesn't. That's okay too. Exhale and hold. Let it down. And repeat. So your foot is just pointing straight back. Or, you know, as you come toward you, you see your foot is in line with your leg. And what I mean by that is, I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. So now we're going to line our foot up differently. So just, you know, for learning purposes, have your leg up and now point your toes to the right. So your leg stays, but your whole foot points to the right. Okay, that's the position I want your foot to be in. We didn't do this on the other leg, that's okay, but I just want to show you. So go ahead and start that practice with your foot pointed to the right. And you'll feel now that you can feel different muscles in your back of your leg, more of the outside muscles. So your foot stays pointed to the right the whole time. I mean, your toes can be spread out. I'm not saying your toes have to be like pointed like a ballerina, but your whole foot is directed to the right. Can even feel that in the front of my shin for some reason on the left. Okay, and so once you've done those 6, now point your toes to the left. So your foot is now oriented toward the left, and do 6 like that. And again, you'll feel all different muscles. Actually, your whole leg, you could sort of rotate your whole leg to the left a little bit. Still straight. But as I come towards you, you can see your inner leg, your inner thigh is facing you more. But again, on this one, you only come up to about 90 or a little bit more. And when you're done with that, bend the knee, float that foot down, give it a little rest. Now we're going to do the side to the side stretches. So raise that leg up. First we'll go to the outside. Grab your strap a little closer to the foot on one with your left arm. Put your right arm out to the T. And we're going to drop it. Oh, actually put your right hand on your right hip and drop that down to the left. Exhaling, hold, inhale up. And let that rest for a moment, bending. Now we're going to switch hands with the strap, holding with your right hand up closer to the foot. Left hand is out to the left in a T. Inhale and exhale to the right. And continue the process. Oh, and you could be looking to the left. It's coming down at a right angle to your body. And relax that one. When I first learned how to do this, it was, I don't know, 15 years ago. I could not cross my leg over my other leg like that, like what we just did, because I had some weird energy stuck in my whole upper groin area. It felt like there was a blockage there. It was so painful to cross one leg over the other. And yay, that is gone. Okay, so I think this one is the tough one. Is when we bring it up and then we bring it to our right shoulder. So hold it with your right hand and put your left hand out to the T again. And think about exhaling, seeing that foot come across your view toward your right shoulder. Not too far down because it just probably doesn't go that far. I can feel this kind of in the outside of my left leg, in the upper back of my left leg, my buttocks. So the attachments for the glutes are probably coming into play here. And maybe try to change up the angle a little bit. Really see if you can have it go upward instead of across, slightly across. Okay, and rest that down. I forget if I'm leaving out one. I can't remember if I did another one. Okay. If I'm leaving something out, maybe you can tell me. So otherwise, have a little break. And I want to show you how to do a calf stretch. You might need the strap. Oh, yeah, you would need it for the first one. So you don't have to have it looped so much, but just put it around your right foot. Maybe a loop is good. Let's see. It probably holds on better. Okay. So if we want to stretch the gastrocnemius, which is the biggest muscle in our calf, it's the one where you use, like if you're going to be a ballerina and you go up on your toes, that's the muscle. So to stretch it, instead of going up on your toes, which contracts that muscle, now we're going to stretch that muscle by, to move back, by pulling it toward you. So it's the same thing where you exhale and hold for 2. Think about having a straight back. I actually have my left leg bent up into my upper inner thigh, not all the way to the groin. So inhale, and then exhale and pull your toes toward you, including using your active muscles. The strap is just a helper to go a little bit further. Inhale, relax the toes. You don't have to point them, but just relax them, and then exhale, pull that toward you. You can really feel that on your gastrocnemius, also known as the gastroc for short. Exhaling on the pull. And this can help your Achilles tendon. So do about 6 of those. Okay, and now there's another muscle in there for our calf. It's called the soleus, and it's underneath the gastroc. And how do we stretch that one? You have to bend your knee to stretch that one. I'm not sure I'm going to use the strap. I'll leave it on for now, but you want to, yeah, I think I'm taking it off. Because you can just, if you can grab your foot, maybe that's it. If you can't grab your foot, then use the strap. But like I'm taking my right hand and I'm just going to lay it over my foot like that. My knee is bent. So when I pull my toes, and maybe double up the hands, when I pull my toes toward me and exhale and hold for 2 and then inhale, I'm stretching the soleus now. S-O-L-E-U-S, soleus. So do some of those. This one probably even more so for the Achilles. And if we don't hold it longer than 2 seconds, we're not going to pop that Achilles, which is known to happen to people, that it's just too much of a stretch. Not what we're doing, but something is too much of a stretch and they just pop that Achilles. A very painful injury to recover from. Okay, so let's do the other leg, and then we'll move on to some arms. So you're going to wrap that around, straighten that leg, sit up nice and tall. See where you want to grab the strap. I like my flannel robe strap. It's nice and soft. And Exhale, pull the foot toward you. Hold for 2. Inhale, relax it. You could come forward just to let it relax. And then sit up straight to pull. Exhale. Hold. See, every move I have that little sigh or yawn. So our bodies need this, and every day. We need this stuff every day. Okay, and when you're done with that, do the soleus. Let's see, you could have your other leg out straight, whatever feels more comfortable to you. I think I like to be up in there, kind of curled up in a ball, sort of. Just make sure your knee is bent. You're exhaling and pulling your upper foot, the bottom of your upper foot toward you. Okay. So I'm thinking let's do a little movement. I know I want to do some upper body stretching, but now that we have our legs all warmed up, let's use that a little bit. So come up into a forward fold. And here we're, in a different way, we're stretching our hamstring and our gastroc mainly. And our glute attachments. And come halfway up, put your hands on your shins. Look up, look way up. Keep breathing. This is just regular, long, deep, comfortable breathing. Legs are straight if possible, otherwise slightly bent. On the next exhale, lower your hands and head back down. Bend your knees a little bit. Straighten the legs again. Hands come back up to shins. Look way up. With your eyeballs, look up as high as possible, breathing. On the next exhale, lower back down. Now place your hands on the floor in front of you and begin to heel and toe your feet outward to a wide-legged stance. And maybe your hands are on the floor, maybe they need to be on blocks or on a piece of furniture near you. That's all fine. Think about having your back more straight though. Like, can you do this with like a tabletop back? And now just begin to sway your hips side to side. Not a very far movement. You'll feel this in your upper, inner groin and upper thigh. And maybe you need to heel toe back in a little bit, but we'll come into, well, I don't want to come too close, so still let the legs be a pretty good distance apart. And now walk your hands over to the right leg. Legs are still straight. Be sure you're breathing. The breath is so important. I think when most people pull a muscle, they are not breathing. And maybe you can now bend that right knee and Feel that stretch. Your hands could come a little bit more in front of you. You'll feel this in both legs. You don't have to come way down. You could come down lower if you want to. Okay, and now come back, straighten that right leg and walk your hands back to your, in front of you. And now over to the left. I've got my left hand on my left ankle. I have my right hand kind of in front of me, or straight down from my shoulder. Keep the breath going. Maybe try bending that knee, the left knee. Be strong and firm in the leg. Straighten that leg and walk your hands back to center again. And let's go back to swaying of the hips. Like a hammock is rocking in the breeze. Okay, place your right hand right in front of you and raise your left hand to the sky, opening in a twist. Long, deep breathing. And lower that hand back down and put that one in the middle. And now raise the right arm. Think about swaying forward and backward in this just a little bit. And bring that one back down. Begin to heel and toe your feet together or closer together. Back into forward fold. Now bend your knees if necessary and begin to come up to standing. One vertebrae at a time, from low to high. Let your neck come up last. And while we're standing, let's do some arm stretches. So bring your right arm, I was gonna say I think it's like a swimmer's stretch. Bring your right arm over to the left, grab it with your left hand, exhaling, hold for 2, and then let it come out. See, there I go, every time. And then again, and do about 6. And now do the other side. You can feel this in the back of your shoulder blades. Okay, I'll just keep moving back here so you can see me. And now we will do, so raise your right arm up and then bend it at the elbow and then reach around, grab that elbow with your left hand, and on the exhale, pull that elbow a little bit toward the back and down. And on the inhale, just be sure to kind of let it come out of the full stretch. Could be that you straighten the arm a little bit. And let both arms down. Do little shoulder rolls. Both ways. And now raise the left arm up straight. Bend it. Grab that elbow, and on the exhale, really stretch. So it's the underarm. What's the name of that muscle? It's the tricep. I'm just coming out of it by letting go and then coming back. Think about your posture here. You don't want to strain your lower back in this. So you may need to bend your knees a little bit. Okay, and when you're done, float those arms down. Let's see where we are on time. Oh, we're just getting there. Okay, so you can come into rock pose, sitting on your heels, or easy pose. And we'll continue with the arms here. So we'll be clasping our hands, palms facing each other. See if you can straighten your arms. First, push your fists down toward the floor. Don't overstrain. We're just seeing, we're just straightening. And the stretch is going to be on the exhale, we'll raise our arms and hold for 2. And really squeeze into those shoulder blades on the hold. And as you inhale, you let that come back to rest. Let everything else relax. Your face is relaxed. Now think again about your posture. You want to think about straightening your spine as you raise up, so you're not arching your lower back. The exhale can be a big open mouth exhale. I usually do the inhale with the closed mouth. As you raise your arms up and you don't arch your back, what am I trying to say? I feel like I push my pelvis down into the floor. Remember the central channel breath. Take it one direction or the other. tuck your chin a little. Oh, I'm getting a cramp in my foot, so I'm going to switch. Let's do a couple more. These feel good. You can always do more than 6, right? You can do 10, you could do 12. I'm just trying to fit quite a few in here today. But you don't have to do more than 6. That's the beauty of it. Like this has been proven to really stretch the muscles really well when you just do 6 repetitions. And rest, relax, do a little shoulder rolling. So we could just end the class right here, or if you have time, if you have a question on a certain muscle, is there any muscle that you want to know how to stretch that maybe I could at least show you how to stretch it? Some part of your body that you find is usually tight, I'll probably have a stretch for it. Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot more walking lately, and I've noticed that my hips are getting tight.
Your hips are getting tight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right about at the hip bone, I feel tightness after I do a lot of long walks.
Is it on the side too?
Mostly.
Or just in the back?
It's in the front.
In the front.
And side.
Where?
The front and side.
Okay, I'm so glad you asked that. Because I wanted to do that today. So let's stand up. Okay. So have your feet, I want to say probably shoulder width, or maybe a little closer, maybe hip width. And so if they're tight in the front, say it's tight on the right front, rotate your upper body to the left, just your upper body. So keep your lower body facing forward. And slowly, I'll turn a little bit so you can see me. So I rotated, and now I'm going to take my left hand and place it on my thigh. And I'm going to inch that hand down the back of the leg on the exhale. And I'm going to come back up on the inhale and inch it back down. And I actually now have my other hand on my hip. I think that's just for stability. So you do about 6 of those. And you should feel this in the side and maybe a little bit in the front. The more you twist around, the more you'll feel it in the front. You can even take that right hand and and pull up on the skin or on the clothing as you go down. And that gives even more of a little stretch right there. So that's one direction for the right hip. Let's see, the other would be, now rotate your body to the right. And we're going to come down the front of the leg. So I've rotated to the right. I have my hand still on my right hip area. I inhale and I exhale, inching my left hand down my leg toward my knee. Hold for 2. Slowly come back up. Repeat that about 6 times. Ah. And now we can do this exact same thing on the other side. So we start out straight, rotate to the right because we're going to stretch the left. So when you rotate to the right, oh, and you know what? I'll just add this on this one. There's even more ways to add an angle. So you might want to check it out. I'll show you this time. Okay, so we rotate to the left. Sorry, I'm rotating to the right. Still want to stretch the right hip. So I'm going to bring I'm getting screwed up now. Did we already do the right? Okay, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. You guys do the opposite leg of whatever we did last time. But I'm coming down in the front. And that may get a little bit more of the back angle of the right hip. And while we're here, we could actually see what it feels like to now go down with your right hand down the back of the right leg. So I'll have to count how many angles we can do on this, but there's more than 4. I feel like I actually it hurts a little bit when I go down to the right. So that side is tighter on me. So I'm going to spend more time going down to the front. So whichever angle causes more pain, like, ooh, it's tight in there, you need to do the opposite bending to the other side. And let's see. So let's try now rotating to the left with your upper body. Because I think we haven't really stretched the left side as much. And now you can come down that right leg in the front. So you're stretching the back of the left hip. So you get the idea. And we can do that again sometime. Maybe I'll think about how I taught that, and maybe I'll figure out how to teach that better next time to keep it a little more succinct. And Joan, did you have anything that you wanted to know how to stretch?
Well, my shoulders have improved immensely. Not quite there. There at the back, not quite there yet.
Is that the one where you're holding your arms up?
No, I can do that. Yeah, it's just to get the way. Oh, let's see. Can you see me there? Sorry.
I could only see your shoulders a little bit. No, I still can't see you.
Yeah.
Angle it down.
Yeah. The left arm can go up higher at the back, and the right one can go kind of straight across, but a tiny bit up, but not enough. But it's much improved. I couldn't.
Well, we can talk about that another time.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep you guys longer.
No rush. Yeah, right.
Before
I used to have to hold it up like that, So
there are a lot more of these stretches for that.
Yeah.
So I'd love to, teach you guys whatever it is you need to know for your body.
It's improved a lot though, thank goodness. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. See you, Kelly.
You're welcome, and thank you. And I should be fine on Saturday. I'm sure I'll be fine on Saturday. So I'll be there one way or the other. Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.